friends, family, distinguished board members, and fellow Blue Coat missionaries. Nobody should freeze to death in America. That has been the core value of the Subzero mission since it began. It began by 2 veterans in an effort to help homeless veterans. It has grown exponentially. According to the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, veterans make up 11% of the U.S. population, but they make up over 26% of the homeless population. The Subzero mission tapped into a need that had yet been touched, the unsheltered veteran. From 50 sleeping bags given to local veterans the first year, to over 300,000 warming items this year. It has grown from distributing from the back of a bus with 2 people, to 2 buses distributing, a storefront donation center, obtaining 501c status, and a 5-star credibility rating from the U.S. Better Business Bureau for charities. Not to mention the countless volunteers. It's no longer local. We now service other cities: Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and Erie. Every year we're adding new cities and expanding rapidly. At the current rate of expansion, however, we will not be able to keep up. I've been involved with Subzero since 2013. My daughter brought a flyer home for a fundraiser, and we donated some warming items. And then a few months later, she asked if she could continue working with them. From volunteering in the booths at the party in the park, to donating her own birthday to Subzero. She donated her birthday in lieu of gifts. Please bring clothing items for Subzero since her 13th birthday. She turns 18 next month. We believe in this organization, and we're fascinated with how quickly it's growing. But that's what I'm here to talk to you about today, the growth of Subzero mission. I propose, in order to sustain our growth and to keep growing and to be able to help the other cities that we've been involved with, we create an organizational chart. In this organizational chart, we should create a full-time fundraiser or fundraising committee. By creating an organizational chart and a full-time fundraiser, we can also establish an organizational mission. Having this chart, this mission, and this full-time position will help to establish clarity, to show donors our culture, and to establish consistency with our sister organizations. According to Primsler on her blog, there's a fundraising season in the United States that generally is from September to December. During the fundraising season, Subzero mission is in high gear distributing. We're unable to tap into grants given during the season. And during the fundraising season, over $400 billion in grants are given out. Well, while it only equals approximately 16% of all money given to charities, it's still a large chunk of change. We don't have a full-time fundraiser to tap into that. And if we did, we would be open to grants because they give them to upstart businesses or established charities that are in need of expansion. Well, Subzero mission is constantly expanding. We're not tapping into a valuable resource. Another reason to establish an organizational chart is to create clarity. It will show where the money is going. It will give a business plan. When a donor or a partner in the community wants to know what's going to happen with the money, we have a business plan. It's right there laid out in front of them. And according to Forbes magazine in 2018, creating a business plan creates trust. And trust is key when going for donations and grants from businesses. And last, another reason to consider an organizational chart is for the consistency, especially now that we are dealing with sister organizations in other cities. We're using our resources gathered all year long to help all these other cities out with no point of contact when they have questions or no way to tap into their areas of fundraiser because we don't have anybody to do that. By establishing the org chart and having a business plan and a full-time fundraiser, we'll be better able to establish consistency, trust, clarity, and tap into resources we're unable to right now. So as you can see, establishing an organizational chart is a good idea. I know we don't want to change too much about how Subzero is run because we all enjoy the camaraderie and the business and the getting out on the road together. But the fundraiser committee doesn't have to stop doing that. They just have to be able to do this as well. In closing, Pam in 2010 wrote for American Express, the 80-20 rule applies to business and volunteering. 80% of the work is done by 20% of the people. At our rate of growth, the 20% of the people are going to burn out rather quickly. Having an established plan will establish committees that can help those people. If we hit a ceiling and can no longer help, our legacy ends there. And in my opinion, that would be a terrible oversight.